Hey everyone, hello, happy Sunday. We're back for Femme and Friends. How is everyone? I saw some of you in the chat before. Sorry we're late. Technical difficulties. You know what it's like. Every Sunday there's something. But I just wanted to say, hey everyone. Hey Mocha. Thanks for being here, Mocha. And all my mods, thank you so much. I'm getting more and more mods now, and I'm so excited. But I have to say, I'm grateful that we haven't had that many trolls during the lives, but you never know. But I want to say thank you, everyone, for putting the time in to mod my channel. Hey, Joey, how are you doing? How is Annabelle? Hi. Oh, guys, I'm so happy to see you. Kelly, hey. Paula just came in too. Hey, how's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling? Are you feeling springy? Because I am, but the weather is not very spring-like at the moment. But I'm looking forward to a warmer weather, longer days, some sunshine, some cocktails in the sunshine. Hey, Amber, how are you, my darling? Oh, I'm so glad to see Femi's here today. I'm so glad to see you guys. I miss you. Every week when I don't see you and we don't talk and we don't do these lives, I really miss you. And I wonder what you're all doing. Kelly, it's warmer there. It starts. Yay. I can't wait for summer. Hey, Data. Good morning. Oh, yeah, it's morning over there. It must be quite early, right? Because I think we've got like a 9 or 10 hour difference. So it must be really early in the morning over there. Hello, Joe. Oh, guys, I'm so happy to see everyone here. Congratulations. Yay. And May 1st is your anniversary. Oh, that's in the sign of Taurus. So stick to it. You'll be sticking to it. You're very determined. I love that. Oh, it's only 8 a.m. Data says. All right. Well, good morning. Get your cuppa and come join us because we've got a lot to talk about. So, guys, today, we're always talking about housewives and their star signs, and we're always analyzing. So, I thought one thing that we don't really talk about are the housewives couples. So, I've made a new friend, guys. I mean, we're just getting to know each other right now. I love her energy. She's got Aqua Rising, right channel. Well, I'll ask you in a minute. And she's got Virgo sun. So it's crisscross to me because I'm an Aqua sun and I'm a Virgo ascendant. So that was a very pleasant surprise and no coincidences here. Why we kind of clicked as well. So hey, Kim, nice to see you. Good afternoon. So I thought, and she loves astrology just as much as I do, just as much as we do. She knows quite a bit about astrology, and I'm going to ask her how and why and how she got into it in a minute. So I thought, why not talk about the housewives couples with Shannon? Right. So I'll bring her up in a minute and we'll talk about her podcast too. You'll have to go and check it out. I just want to say hello to this special lady. Hi, Allison. Yes, I'm so glad you're here too. All these like Femmies and familiar faces. I love you all, guys. You really warm my heart. And it just, I've been doing this for almost 3 years where I've been doing YouTube. I think it's around 2.5 years. And I still get nervous when I do lives, especially when they're when I collab with other people, I'm not as nervous because I don't have to toggle the chat, StreamYard, and all that. But I do get nervous on my own live. So it's good to see you guys here because you all make me feel so much more comfortable. Hi, Rafila. How are you? Oh, guys, this is going to be a nice Sunday afternoon for the US and Canada, morning for New Zealand and Australia, and here in Europe it's in the evening. So, and I know we've got people watching from Europe as well. So I'm really glad and I'm really excited. I'm going to bring Shannon up so you can all meet her as well, and we can start the show. Ready? Hey!
Hi. Hi, everyone.
So, Shannon, first of all, before we dive in and before we talk a little bit, we'll talk about your podcast and what you do towards the end so people can just like rush over there and just start following you and listen to your episodes and everything. But I want to talk a little bit about how did you get into astrology? How did you learn so much? I got some info from Georgia as well, who is our mutual friend.
Yes.
Because he was here last week.
Yes,
So
I saw that finally the other day. I caught up. I've been trying to play catch up with like all shows, but I got into astrology when I think I was 12 is when I started showing like a real interest in it. Hi Campire.
hey,
Um
Cam.
so it's weird and this is gonna sound like super corny, but I remember watching The Craft and being like, that's like relatable to me. No, not the dark magic part of it, but like the more natural abilities that were like exercised without even, like acknowledging the effort, so to speak. And I can't remember Robin Tooney's character in the movie, but if anybody knows, drop it in the comments. But it was more like that type of energy where like the natural witch thing. So and it kind of just like the intrigue as I got older grew and I would start dabbling just like in different areas, like reading about tarot and just like even palmistry. I'm really big into, healing crystals and that sort, working on energy that way. So I have astrology ADHD just because I have like regular ADHD. I'm kind of all over the place where I like learning about everything. And recently, I've started learning more about charting because that's the one area that intimidates me like so much.
I know it's tough.
It's super technical. There's not like room for interpretation. I feel like where I'm more of like a fluid person with astrology and charting is very exact, very precise and numbers and I'm not a math person either. So degrees and such, it just
I
like
know.
intimidates me. I'm like, I don't know. I think this is too much. But I'm taking a course right now. Annabelle Gatt offers a beginner, an intermediate, and an advanced course. And I have the beginner and intermediate. And I'm on the beginner. It's it's a process, but yeah, it's just been something that I've really honestly kind of always been into and just stuck with over the years. I'm not really like a religious person. This is my version of religion. I think like religion is interpretive to each person. And I kind of feel that way. And a lot of people will disagree with this, but I feel like astrology is the same way. Like, you know how some people are very fixed on like the rules of astrology, where I'm kind of more, there's like room for, you know, like a little wiggle room. Like I don't feel like it's as strict because I think it's meant to
It's
be.
more intuitive.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Because I think, and this is just my perspective. Obviously, if you're into the technicality part of it, cool, great. Like I'm not here to take away from anybody's perspective, but I just think like the more that the more restrictions that you place around it, it makes it more akin to like organized religion, like commercialized organized religion
Mhm, mhm.
where there's like rules and regulations and like you can't do this and you can't do this and then it's like because I think astrology is so different from organized religion in that sense that it's more open. You get what I mean? Like I don't know, I think that's
It
another.
is more open to interpretation, and it is, and a lot of times I say because we talk about astrology here, but obviously we talk about it more in a lighthearted way, especially when
Yeah.
we talk about housewives and pop
Oh my
culture
gosh,
and
yeah.
reality TV. And I tell people this is a generalization. Astrology is so complex. Reading a chart because I myself, I'm not an astrologer, I'm not an astrologist, but I started off with astrology too when I was like 14, 15. So I started tarot when I was around 12, and then I got really into astrology too. I know how to read natal charts, but I can't do predictive astrology. I don't need to anyways because I've got other other abilities to do
Other
it.
gifts,
But
yeah.
but because when I got into trying to learn sort of like predictive astrology and making charts and synastries as well, so just combining two charts together and looking at like relationships and stuff, it's, as you said, it is so detailed and so complicated, so mathematical. I suck at math. I always did.
Same. I'm like, I just can't. And math is so intimidating to me. My son is in 8th grade, and once he hit 7th grade, that's when I was like, I have to get a tutor because
Yeah.
it's like that. But I am trying to. I'm not going to master it. I can already tell you that, and that's not even like a defeatist attitude. It's just me knowing myself. I'm not going to be a birth chart master, but I just want to have some kind of an understanding just because I like knowing all the little corners, and not being maybe like the best at every single thing, but being good enough to have a fluid conversation about it, but then still maybe learn something new from somebody else and then share something that maybe they don't know that I know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
crystal wise or, chakras or tarot
Right.
cards or, like
Right.
things like that.
I I see what you mean, but are you like what I do when I first meet people? I'm a bit of a weird. I'm like, "What's your star sign? When's your
Oh my
birthday?"
gosh. Like, first like, I need to know I'm like, "What are your big 3?" And the people who are like, "What?" I'm like, like your sun, your rising, and your moon. But then if somebody immediately gets it, to me, that's kind of like okay. Like, oh, okay,
Exactly.
be on the same page or close to the same page, which is always exciting. So, I am a Virgo sun and a Virgo moon. But what keeps me from being like a total psycho is my Aquarius rising.
Yeah, that's why you're not so like in the nitty-gritty of astro because it's the aqua. The aqua rising is kind of like balancing things
Yeah,
out.
thank God for it because like it's been a journey with a Virgo sun and a Virgo moon, just like being a perfectionist, like with podcasting myself, like when you were talking about how you've been doing this for 3 years, but you still get nervous on your own. I relate to that so hard because like when like for instance, like right now you invited me on and I don't even really did this is my very first like live. So it's a
Oh,
little
is
bit
it?
yeah. I've done like
In the
Instagram
best place because I mean this community is so loving and so
but
kind. So
I
we're in
mean,
good hands.
that makes it so much nicer too. So like thank you everybody for being friendly and like welcoming and stuff because it is intimidating. There are people, like yucky corners of the internet.
Mhm.
But then there are also like really great corners. Like I connected with you through Giorgio and through the Bravo community, kind of like weaving into astrology. And I love that too. I love that, because we are super into astrology and super into the housewives, that you can kind of like pick out the behavior. Like I always love, especially on New Jersey. New Jersey is like one of the best.
One of the best. I mean, honestly, we could have a marathon of a live just talking about these people, all of them, the men and the women on YouTube, and just analyze them, you
It,
know?
well, and it's especially interesting because there are so many Aries placements on the New Jersey cast that it's no wonder that all of them are just like beyond explosive,
Explosive,
ready
yeah.
to fight like at any second, very what's the word I'm looking for? Like instigative, just they're a lot. I love them, don't get me wrong. Like I love New Jersey is one of my favorite franchises.
It's mine too. And also, and you know what the funny thing about New Jersey is that you're right, that there's so much fire element in the cast. And then you've got Teresa, who is a Taurus.
She's got a Leo moon.
She's got the Leo moon. That's
Like
exactly
that's what I
table flipping, falling in love, like without I'm not gonna
without
express
even
myself.
thinking. She's like she locks eyes with somebody and she's like, "Marry me." And I'm like,
Exactly.
it's concern and I love Teresa. I do. Like and I don't look, she's had her problems and sure, she lives in her own planet a lot of the times, But like overall, I think she is a well-intended individual. I don't think she always lands the way that
Huh.
she like it starts out. I think she starts out with good intention, but if you like say one wrong thing, like the fire inside of her explodes and then it just turns all the way left. So I love her, but this relationship situation.
This relationship situation, and he's a Taurus too. Did you know that?
I did. I don't know what his moon is. I
Wait,
haven't.
I think I've got it. Hold on. We'll talk about
Oh,
okay. Well, since we started with Teresa, hold on.
yeah.
Wait, I couldn't find Louis, but I did find hold on, where was it?
I was shocked at his Taurus sun.
He's Taurus sun. Oh, I don't have it here. Anyways, I couldn't find his chart because he's not that famous, obviously. But I have Teresa's here. So let me
Yeah.
there you go. This is what I found. Okay, you can't really see the chart, but you can see that her moon is in Leo, as you said. Now let's go to Venus. Where is it? Cancer.
Mm,
If this is accurate.
oh, yeah.
So,
Oh, wow.
wow, and look at her. And we will explain to everyone what we're talking about. And then she's got a Mars in Cancer, which is weird, which
Yeah.
doesn't really make
I was gonna
sense to
say
me.
I was expecting like a fire, like a Sagittarius, or maybe like
Sagittarius, yeah.
Aries Mars, like a fire sign, more of a fire sign.
More of a fire sign because she's got that water here. Wait, she's got Mercury in Taurus. Okay, fine. And then she's got Venus, Mars in Cancer and water, Jupiter in Capricorn. Which would be interesting to see when she had these legal issues. Where
Yeah,
was Jupiter at the time? Because that her Jupiter is in Capricorn, and Capricorn's about money. It's about structure. It's about domain and hierarchy and all that. So that would be interesting to see, which we can't right now because it's going to take too
yeah.
long for me to
No,
research it.
that's a good talking point because when did that happen? It seems like forever ago, but sometimes I'm like, it was like 2011, maybe, right?
I think I was. I think no, not. I think I was pregnant with my son, and he's seven. So it was like 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
Okay. Wow, it feels
I
like
think. But guys, let us know. I mean,
yeah, I'm like, sometimes I get it wrong with the New Jersey. I think because the one thing with New Jersey that bothers me and that's always bothered me is the family drama that just carries on and on and on. And it's like the same, you know, like Melissa and Teresa like butting heads. And it's like they're just Mars conjunct Venus. I
yeah,
missed
I saw that. Right, it's up
that.
there. Yeah.
Yep, micro blue. Thank you. But yeah, I think because they all share like similar placements, it's just like a ping pong game of the same conversation back and forth all the time on a loop. And it's like either learn to love and live with each other or just like hate each other and don't deal with each other because it's kind of getting to the point where it's like, can we
I
stop?
agree.
You
But
know?
I understand where it's coming from. I mean, let's look at Joe's. I don't remember I think he's a
Oh,
Leo. I think Joe
he's a
is a
Leo.
Leo.
Classically, I wouldn't be surprised if he was a Leo, like a trifecta Leo.
Well, actually it makes me think because if she's got a Leo moon and he's a Leo, I feel that the mom was a Leo.
I remember it's weird that you say this because I was watching old New Jersey. It was like season 4, I think, New Jersey, and it was the mom's birthday, and I think it was in the summertime because they film
Mm,
summer
right.
typically for New Jersey, and it was the mom's birthday. So I mean, she could be Jay's mom.
Hold
Let's
on. I'll bring up Joe's for 1 second, Joe Gorga, because I've got him here. Oh my God, look at how many Leos he's got. He's got Sun,
Oh,
Moon, Mercury, and Venus in Leo.
did you see though that I called it? I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like
Oh,
the most Leo person I've ever seen in
he
my
is. He is.
and
Look at that. Even
like
his
when
e-
Do you have like a go-to see, they hate the family drama too, Mar. I feel you. Like it's just so much. It's like draining. Like, come on. Like if you're all about love, 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 like let's love, love, love. Okay, so Joe, okay, it's telling me when they
Hold,
passed, but I'm trying to find the birthday.
hold on. So it's interesting because he's Venus in Leo in the 10th house, guys, and North Node and Lilith in Virgo. Joe,
A
you
lot.
are a nightmare.
Yeah, like and look, I love Joe Gorga, and this is like a shameful, but like not shameful confession. So he is on his comedy tour right now.
Really? Is he still doing that?
He's still doing that. And like I love the Gorgas. I've said it a million times on my podcast. If there are two couples that I would die to party with, and it's the Gorgas and then Kyle and Mauricio would be my second couple. Like if there were two couples that I'm like, I know that I would have like a killer time going out, it would be those two couples. But so he was playing in Tampa. Hey, Campfire. He was playing in Tampa, which is only like an hour away from me.
Hmm.
And so I said to my husband, I was like, let's go. Like, let's go see Joe Gorga at the, Tampa Comedy Club or whatever he was playing. And so I got on my phone to order tickets. Guess how much he was charging per ticket?
How much?
$165. I was like, I've seen literal comedians. Like I've seen Aries Spears. I've seen Tony Rock, who's Chris Rock's brother. I've seen Christian Finnegan. I've seen Dave Attell and met Dave Attell at the DC Improv for $35. I was like, Joe Gorga, you need to calm down. $165. He got like heckled for the first time recently, I read. And like, yeah, like, and Melissa even went up on stage to try and like save it because, yeah, see, Joe and Melissa would be fun too, like fun times, good times. They're here for a party, 100%.
Joe, Cold Campfire Joe.
Is it Joe?
If you want to call in, we can join the combo.
But no, like, could you could you imagine spending $165 for like per ticket? So I was like, for my husband and me to go see Joe Gorga, it's going to cost over $300. I'm like, I just saw Kesha and I was 6 feet away from her and it was $75. No, Joe Gorga. Like it's not.
With all those planets in Leo, what would you expect?
You know what? Like I'm not shocked, but like I love seeing the breakdown because every time I watch him, like whenever I think of Joe Gorga, I always have like for not every housewife or house husband, but for a lot of them, there's like an immediate like mental scene that comes to mind. And the one that I always think of with Joe Gorga is the scene where he charged at Joe Giudice when they were on vacation, like when he ran towards him and tackled him. That's Joe Gorga in a nutshell to me. And not to say that he's like a violent person or anything like that, but he's just explosive. Like, because he really did go from just like kind of just talking shit a little bit to like full on like out of rage, right? Like a big fireball. So that I always think of that. And like with Teresa, the table flipping for me, like that's, Teresa's like classic.
They're a family of hotheads there. I mean, it's incredible. I'm so glad the kids are grounded and they're so, I mean, well, I know.
On, and look.
Go on.
I love Teresa's kids and I love Gia, but just because Gia is not a child anymore, I don't like she's not a housewife. I don't need confessionals from Gia. Like I don't really, because I don't like that the shoe polish. It was so bad, Data. It was a moment and it was a choice too. It was bad. And when her hairline, oh my gosh. I love looking at the transition from season to season, like the glow up for everybody. but no, like lost my train of thought. Sorry. It's been a long day.
Yeah, you were talking about
Oh boy.
Joe and how he was acting up, and
It
I
I
lost
think
my.
it's with both Joes, being honest, because I think Joe Judice is, I think he's a Libra, I think. I haven't looked into him.
Oh, I haven't looked. I should have. Is he a Libra?
I I think he is. Let's see. Oh,
That
no.
would be interesting.
Whoa.
What?
Okay, this is shocking.
Go on. I'm at the edge of my
Okay,
seat.
he's a Gemini. I wouldn't have guessed that.
No, really? That makes total. I mean, the Libra didn't make sense. Gemini makes. He was cheating. Gemini's.
That's true.
That polarity, that sort of like on the outside, I've got, I give a different impression to people outside of my family, and I'm different with people that I'm in my family. He liked to be center of attention. That makes sense to me, at
Yeah,
least.
that's true. I guess just because maybe he, for me, is missing, like, 'cause I enjoy, I like, who doesn't like a Gemini? Yeah, I guess it does make perfect. Everybody's right. I think I just don't want to believe it. I'm having like cognitive dissonance right now. I'm like, I refuse to believe that. I'm like, because I wanted him to be like, I was saying air, like Libra, but an Aquarius, he's not fun enough, but I don't even think he's fun enough to be a Gemini.
I agree with Vampire. Teresa should have known that that wouldn't work because he's a Taurus as well. So he
Well,
stays clear of Geminis.
and like with Teresa, it's part of me feels so bad for her in the sense that like,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry, Gemini. I don't mean to be mean. I always try and tread carefully. My son is
No, every week we shade a star sign. It's fine. People know that.
okay. I'm like, my son's rising sign is a Gemini, and I remember when I first found that out, it like took me a couple days to like actually
To
accept
recover.
and like process because he's a Sagittarius sun, an Aries moon, and a Gemini rising.
Um,
And he's 14. So, like, light a candle for me, everybody. Just like every day, say a little prayer for me.
oh my, for you or for the old prospective girlfriends and mistresses and whatever?
Thank God. Is it like, and I do, because I do think about that, but he's thankfully on the spectrum of he just wants to do his own thing. That,
Okay.
so for now anyway. So like let's ride that as long as we can because
Independent Gemini
yes, that's and
and
let's
chatterboxes. Like they will like literally kill you with their chatting and their talking. Like they will exhaust you to the Gemini kids at least, right? Because they've got to tend like they have to argue and talk about everything until you're like done and you're like, do what you want, I'm done.
that's
Do what
yeah.
you want.
That's where I am. I'm just like, okay, just whatever you need to do, just do it. I'm like, just don't get in trouble. I love a Gemini though, and
I love a Gemini too. I want to say sorry for interrupting. Michael Baloo says I really like Geminis. I like Geminis too. I've got very several friends who are Geminis, including a mom who's a Gemini. Now there, it's a bit of a complicated relationship, but I have a lot of Geminis in my life, and there's so much. I have so much fun with Geminis. The only issue with Geminis is that normally their private lives are a mess, especially their love lives. So there's just so much drama surrounding them.
it's true. The love life drama is really always. I have a girlfriend who's a Gemini, and she is forever having like a trash fire situation with her dating life.
I
Like a
know.
real, like not like a mild trash fire either. Like always something like beyond. And I'm just like, how do you get yourself involved? Like the dating life for her has been rough. So that's tracking like and it's weird though, like also when because my husband and I were separated a couple of years ago and I did the dating thing and it was always one of the first questions I asked when I met somebody, like we were saying, like,
Mhm.
started like, when's your birthday? And you know how like some men are with that stuff. Like they look, why are you asking? That's an immediate red flag for me as a person, like why are you so cautious to tell me? And then it usually ended up the people who were like the two people I went on a date with, 'cause they didn't date a whole lot, but both of them were Gemini. They were like, why do you ask? And I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
astrology. I was like, I just wanted to know like when your birthday is. Like, you don't have to tell me the year, like just the day, like it's
Yeah,
fine.
well, the worst part to me is not why do you ask, is when you ask someone, man, okay,
Yeah.
you're like, what's your star sign? And they're like, I don't know what my star sign is. And I'm like, oh no. So when were you born? When's your birthday? End of March. And I'm like, okay, forget it.
Okay, but like when at the end of March? Like
I know.
the 19th or like the 20th? Because it makes a difference. You're like, those are two different, and it's a lot. Like my husband is as we've, been married for longer, he's gotten more curious too. I think just meeting with all the personalities. Yeah, Geminis, I think they have those like multiple times a day, multiple self Zoom meetings.
They do. It's that polarity. It's Geminis, Pisces too, not as in your face as Geminis, but they also have that polarity, like two sides of them.
Well,
There's
and it's so funny. So like not to like steer off course again, but like with placements in my house, because my house is a crazy town. Like you and I have talked about my husband and his crybaby cancer tendencies. And like no offense to cancers, but like y'all are very
Oh
like,
no, we shaded them last week. It's
oh,
okay.
well, sorry to carry it over this week, but like the emotions are just so real. My daughter is an Aquarius sun, a Pisces rising, and a Taurus moon. So she is very, yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot going on over here. And I always tell people, I'm like, there's so many different like layers to everybody's personality. Um,
You're an interesting group.
very, very, thank God for
Yeah,
placements.
that's true. I said Putin, I said last week that Putin is a Libra. And also, like statistically speaking, the majority of serial killers are Libras, just saying. Our last president, yeah, Biden is a Gemini. No, Trump was a Gemini. Biden is, I forgot what Biden is.
Um,
I
I'm
I
surprised I don't
told
know.
everyone that. And then Zelensky, Ukrainian one, the Ukrainian president is Aquarius.
Oh, I guess this tracks for Joe Biden too. I feel like
But I don't think he's Gemini though, is he? I don't remember.
no,
Oh, Scorpio. He's a Scorpio.
Scorpio.
There you go.
I mean,
Which makes sense.
yeah, I was gonna say because he has that swag. He has that like mysterious. I feel like he's very mysterious. I don't
And
know.
also the fact that he's got all those karmic stuff that happened to him. He lost a pregnant wife and a car. His wife back then with his son, and she was pregnant.
Yep.
So that's so scorpionic, that scorpionic karma and darkness. And that makes so much sense for Biden as well.
Yeah.
And the Putin being a Libra makes sense. And everyone's now shading Putin because he's in the middle of a war and he shows up like to these events, like propaganda stuff that he's after, like with these super expensive jackets and brands and designers, and everyone's like, read the room.
Right. Like there was one time I don't remember who I was talking to. It was somebody I like wasn't very close with. It was like a stranger at a store, I think, and we were talking about Libras. And she made the comment. She was like, the way I sum up Libra is I wonder what it's like to love yourself that much. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so true because I've never met a Libra who's not like me.
Yeah.
Libra and Leo to me, like very similar in how they're like a little self-absorbed. But it's weird also sometimes, I don't know, like Jackie is a Libra,
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey, and she's very like what I like. She reminds me a lot of one of my girlfriends who's a Libra. Just very kind of like she tries to ride the fence a little bit, like not like cause too many rifts, but also like stir the pot kind of a little bit, but
Oh
also
yeah, they do that. My sister's a Libra. She knows very well how to stir the pot and just like, keep her hands clean as well. Like
quietly stir and then walk away and be like, what happened? How? And you're like, you did this. Like, I had nothing to do with it. My mom and my dad are Libras. So
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And my stepdad is a Virgo. So it's
Okay, that's good. So your mom went from a Libra to a Virgo because she was like, I'm done with this like situation
um
with Libras, you
yeah,
know.
I can't say like I don't have very nice things to say about her decisions, but like that's her life. Is she fake because we do this? No, I don't think no.
No.
Best friend. So I have they're twins, two female twins. They're obviously both Libras. And they're like two of the realest people that I know. Like I find, and I would love to know your opinion on this. I find Libra to be almost at times as blunt as like a Virgo.
Yeah, especially the women. I
Yeah,
find women Libras are very different to men. Men are more diplomatic, tactful, charming, but they do that because they have an end goal that I find with men Libras, but females are a lot more direct because they've got confidence.
yeah,
Because it's all about their vein, they've got confidence, and they even if they don't have confidence, they're great at faking it. So
right.
they've got great energy when they walk in a room or they go in a job interview. They have that. But as all Libras, they're always trying to find that inner peace, inner balance, trying to figure out life. They're never happy. They never feel that anything will make them happy, especially the women Libras. Sorry, but it's true. And
Impossible. Impossible to please. And I guess if you take a look at Jackie, she really does personify because with
she
the
does.
she's so confrontational, but then with Evan, she's so like meek and like turns inward and like is kind of like a
True.
desperate mess, so to
Is
speak.
he Cancer?
Who
Evan.
I have no idea.
He gives me Cancer vibes because he's so like
100% when you say that, like he reminds me of one of my best friend's boyfriends. Like, and look, I love Jackie. I've purchased a cameo from Jackie as a gift for a friend.
oh, really?
Highly recommend her. There are some housewives, like, and because it's such a good gift, you guys. If you're ever in a bind for somebody's birthday or whatever gift occasion, Cameo is where it's at. It's such an easy thing. You log in real quick. She's great at it, but like with Evan, I love her. I think he did cheat. And like, I'm sorry, Cancers, y'all have a deep history with being unfaithful.
All water signs. Let's just say it.
Okay, I'm like, I wasn't going to blast all of them, but yeah,
I do. I do that every week.
you're like, it's like a water gun of assault. You're like, water signs, water gun. Like, I'm just going to assault it because it's true. Like, there's and people talk about the ambiguity of a Gemini, but Pisces, I feel like
You
is
said Pisces and so iconic said except Pisces.
no, so iconic. I'm sorry. Pisces is included because I have several I know several Pisces who like get mistaken as this like, very like angelic and just
Well, that too sometimes.
but I'm like behind the scenes. It's like a Jekyll and Hyde for me with water signs. Like I feel
Yes.
in public, like, they're always like people are like, "Oh my god, oh, Evan's a Leo." Oh,
Evan is a Leo.
well.
He must have a lot of water in his chart
Some
though. 'Cause
I bet you his rising or his moon is Cancer. So there's
exactly what I was thinking.
his Venus is in Cancer or there's Cancer somewhere, a heavy placement of Cancer. I wouldn't be surprised. And again, I love them, but like he gives me creeper vibes. Like
And
maybe
speaking
yeah,
of Evan, because Kempar and I did a reading on because we do these celebrity readings, right? Where we it's called Walk of Femme, and we collab with Kempar on my channel, and we do readings on celebrities, or we channel if they're they've passed over. And we did one on New Jersey, and one of the questions that Camp asked was, you know, did Evan cheat? I mean, did that happen? Mm-hmm. It did happen. I saw it. I saw
I
it.
saw it too. Like when and it's more so like, you know how I told you, like I pick up on like the weird nuances and like a behavior or like a reaction to a statement. And Evan's reaction to me was, and like I've been
Yeah.
cheated on, okay? And like
Mhm.
I'm a Virgo, I'm a detective by just like like it's ingrained in me. So just studying it, I was like that it happened. And I think that she knows it happened too, but she won't allow herself to
I
admit.
think so too. Because I think she tries to keep everything tight, and it's her personality, and she is a Libra after all. So it's always trying to find that balance in her life and balance emotionally. So it makes sense. And let me just say, Kemper says, I'm dating an Aquarius, my next relationship.
Do
Kat,
it,
I've been saying this for a year that you
do
should
it,
find an Aquarius.
do it. Aquarius is like, I'm so grateful that that's my rising sign because I would be such a terrible person. Because I'm such a perfection. I'm a neurotic perfectionist. Like my kids call me out all the time. They're like, "Why are you cleaning that?" I'm like, "Shh, just let me do it." Like, don't worry about why I'm cleaning it. Just like let me clean it because I have to do it. Or
Whereas I'm the opposite to
oh,
you. 'Cause I've got aqua. I'm like flying, I'm all over that. I've got so many interests. I'm always busy. I'm a social butterfly. I'm always busy. And thank God I've got that Virgo ascendant, the rising, because I'm a lot, it doesn't, you might not see it, but I'm very super structured and very organized
that's
in
why
my
I
head. In
do.
my head, people, not
Right.
in my
Oh yeah, in the head. So Pepe is Taurus. No, I think Taurus is one of the more loyal signs.
yeah.
If they cheat on
Yeah.
you, they'll tell you afterwards and then let you decide if
No, Tauruses are, yeah, because Tauruses just basically take their time generally to make decisions, to make a first
getting
move,
to
to
get out
ask you on a date.
to get out of bed. The only thing that Taurus does not take their time with is buying something expensive. That's when they're like, "Where's my credit card?" Or they're like, "Wait, I have it saved in my head," which I do too because I'm
I
neurotic.
agree. And that applies for Virgos and Libras, by the way.
Yeah, like
Big spenders cannot save to save their lives.
yeah, it's a struggle over here. Like very, but the
I
one
know.
thing that I made a Virgo full moon post about it where I was talking about how like people kind of I think don't recognize like the low key narcissism in a Virgo because we are very health, wellness, like self
Yeah.
care,
Yeah.
care of yourself first. And like, I am the first person to make sure, that like my hair appointments are booked on time. Not that it's looking that way today, you guys. It's a long day. Like I get up at 4:30 to go to the gym. Like I had two.
Wow.
It was an
That's Virgo. That's not an aqua. I wouldn't get out of bed if you dragged me out of bed if I didn't need to. That's a Virgo where it's like, I'm
my
on a schedule.
I have like my sleep schedule is like I'm asleep by like 8:30 and my body clock is like up at 4. So it's it's
Wow.
very Virgo like structure oriented, but then I do need a nap to like reset. So but no, spending money on ourselves, it's like my favorite thing to do. I love it. Like I have a facial booked this week, hair appointment next week. It's very, but it's all very structured. So Aries ascendant and moon in Aquarius. Um,
That's in data. I like that combo, to be
yeah,
honest. I really like that combo because it gives you a really good balance. And it seems to me that you're very ahead or mature, I'm gonna say, about
a leader, like a good
yeah,
leader,
a leader. Exactly.
like I
Exactly.
make for like a really good boss or like even just a parent too. Like I
No,
love my sister was an Aries and she was like the most Aries of Aries. All Aries are the most Aries of Aries.
I've got a sister who's an Aries too, and she's an Aries, more than an Aries. I mean, oh my God.
If
And it's
there's
like,
yeah, if there's a fight to be fought, or even if there's not a fight. to be fun. They're like, let's do it. And you're like, not everything has to be this deep. Like the earth sign. Oh my God. Well, you're a Libra with a Virgo rising. I mean, I I don't want to like assault Libra. Oh, moon and
They can take it. They get a lot of assault from me. But it's not assault, it's love. It's tough love. I just call it as it is. And you know what? It would be boring if we just talked about all the good stuff, like all the good traits of star signs.
Would you say, because like I like to say, this is how I feel about astrology, is I don't think there's like any one sign that's bad. I think it's more like, now, do I have my own personal experience?
Yeah, we're talking about like
100%.
subjectively, right? Not objectively.
Yeah, but like overall, like when people are like, "Oh my God," like because Scorpios, like you guys really do get slandered, like just slandered.
And to be honest, and I'm going to be super honest, you know me, guys, I'm super honest. Out of all water signs, actually, the Scorpio, believe it or not, is actually the more balanced, the best out of all three.
Honest.
The more honest, they don't really, they can cheat, but they don't often cheat. Let's just say, like Cancers and Pisces do, because Pisces tend to fib. Scorpios don't fib. They're just private. They
I was
just
gonna say they keep their cards close to their chest.
right.
They unravel slowly, but they're not as deceptive. I feel like that.
Kemp and I are on the same page. That's why I'm laughing, because
like,
I know what he's thinking. We're always thinking the same. We're so in sync, and I know exactly what he's thinking.
I'm excited to hear which one it is.
Well, if you want, we can talk.
Scorpio, I think, especially for heterosexual women who meet a man and he's like, "I'm a Scorpio," immediately, I'm interested. Maybe not like long term romantically, but like sexually. If I'm a single woman and there's an attractive because they're typically a pretty attractive.
Yeah. I mean, depends, because you've got Scorpios and Scorpios. So you've got Scorpios that are like dressed in black all day, every day, and all you see, in their closet is just black. And that's a typical Scorpio, where they just like they don't want to be seen, they don't like color, they don't want to stand out, they just want to blend in with that darkness over there. So, and that's typical Scorpio. And then you've got Scorpios that you don't like when you meet them in a social environment, it doesn't scream, I'm Scorpio, or they're Scorpio. Do you know what I mean? Because when they're in a social environment, usually, if they've managed to get there, because usually they'll just cancel last minute because they'll have some kind of existential crisis, because that's what Scorpios do. But if they're in a good mood and they manage to get out the house, they're normally they're very chatty, they're very light, so you can't really tell. That's my experience with Scorpios. And let me just tell you, I used to date, I was engaged for 4 years with a Pisces who had a Scorpio rising. And yes, we were at it like bunnies. That's true. I was younger. That is so true. But oh my God. I mean, he was so specific, so domineering, so like, this is my girl.
That's one. I was gonna say, if I had a complaint other than like the overly emotional aspect of it all, because my Virgo sun and moon, like with the emotion, and even with my Aquarius rising, I'm like with emotions, I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, not that I'm not an emotional person, because I am. It's just like when other people are emotional, and that's why for me, Scorpio was never.
No, I would never go back to a Scorpio. No, it was too intense. I can tell you, like 4.5 years of intensity.
For a friend, I think they're fabulous.
They're fabulous. Yeah, I agree.
They're fun. For me, romantically speaking, I would say, like, since we were talking about, is there like a no sign? It's Sagittarius for me. Romantically, yes.
Tell me why.
My ex is a Sagittarius, and we are quite literally oil and water.
Mm.
Just, I
Mm.
could say the sky is blue, and you'd be like, it's more of like a grayish, like
Yeah.
off-white type. There were It was just always very, and so because it was such a n not my favorite experience, that's why I wrote it off. But for friendship, and typically speaking, Virgo and Sagittarius are not a good match.
I
Like,
agree. Mm.
I don't think so. But if you look at, because Sagittarius, sorry you guys, like you have a problem with cheating too. Like
Yeah.
most Sagittarius that I know are cheaters.
But they're honest. But they're honest. That's the thing.
Honest,
Cancers will tell you to your face, I'm cheating, or
I
I'm
didn't have
monogamous. Like,
that.
take it as you will, but at least they're honest. You have
No,
to give that
I
to
didn't get
Sagittarius.
I didn't get the honest Sagittarius, but I look at couples like Beyonce and Jay-Z, and they've been together for like 20 years.
True.
And she's a Virgo and he's a Sagittarius, and he cheated, but she forgave him because Virgos, while they
Yeah.
may not seem like it, are pretty forget like,
They are. Yeah.
and it's to our detriment a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Like Virgos and boundaries, like red flags to us. Oh, Jackie's rising sign is Sagittarius. Wow. That explains, that's why she's such a fun, kind of flighty.
But
I think that makes sense for her because I like Jackie though. I know she's not everybody's favorite, and I think that's what makes New Jersey great is that people like are all over the spectrum with like who they love, who they hate, and like people get so impassioned by it.
so true. Can Scorpio destroy Leos? Worried about my little son having conflict with his Leo dad at some point. Can Scorpio destroy Leos? Scorpios don't destroy anyone. They destroy themselves. They're self-destructive, first of all.
Yeah,
That's what happens. Okay. So the reason why people are afraid of Scorpios is because they sting. When something hurts them, when they feel cornered, backed in a corner, they will stink. Yeah, that hurts. They will be mean, but they won't. It's a misconception that Scorpios are this vindictive, evil, depends on the chart, obviously. But usually they're self destructive. So usually the things that come out of their mouths or their reactions just comes back and hurts them. So
and
don't worry.
I was gonna say I would think that the confidence of a Leo would kind of help them stand up to the, because it is more of like a self-destructive type behavior than typically anyway than
Yeah.
than an attack. Like a
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and even, depending on the child, like you said. Oh, Jennifer Aidensign, she's an Aries.
He's
She's
an
double,
Aries.
I believe. She's Aries sun and moon, I believe.
What's Bill? What's Bill Aiden, by the
Bill
way?
is my friend and I looked it up recently, a couple
Oh,
of
look
months
at
ago.
this. Jackie's moon is Aquarius. Jackie's got like she's
He's got
well
place.
balanced.
I like, and I think that's why I like Jackie because, and what also for me to go back to the Evan cheating
Right. Yeah. Hmm.
thing, I think that, and especially because if Jackie's moon is in Aquarius, I think that would lend to her being a little more maybe naturally intuitive. And so maybe she does know because the way, like, if you're so
Yeah,
confident that your husband isn't cheating, why are you reacting this way?
I
Why
agree.
are you letting it affect you this way? Because your reaction tells me a lot about how you're internalizing these accusations. So to me, it's very telling when somebody behaves that way, and knowing her placements now, I think intuitively she probably knows, but her Libra kind of lets her live in denial, and
True.
so does her Aquarius, probably being honest. And it's like a protective thing, but I think that maybe that's why she initially was trying to be friendly to Jen because of the cheat. She just had a cheating
No.
allegation herself,
Mm.
except for hers were allegations and Bill's are like definitive, like it's cut and dry. He cheated. it is what it is.
And cheated again, because we saw that too in the cards, just saying.
Yeah,
That
well,
unfortunately.
okay, so that I was gonna ask you about that. So you guys saw that he had cheated again,
Mhm.
like over the summer.
I didn't see timeline, but the question Kempire asked me was like, has he done it again, or is he doing it still? And the answer was yes. I could see that, and it was fairly recent as well. Like definitely fairly recent that he had some kind of affair. I don't think he has it now. It's done, but yeah, it could have been last summer.
I was gonna say the reason I asked if it was over summer, like, if there was a projection on timeline is because, and I cannot remember who published the blind item. It might have been Bravo and Cocktails. I don't
Okay.
want to say for sure. There was a blind submitted that said that Bill had cheated over the summer again with a SkinCeuticals rep for the plastic, because SkinCeuticals
Mm,
only has so many reps
yeah.
in the Paramus area, and the one rep that was working at a plastic surgeon's office asked to be removed due to like an interpersonal conflict, and then it was revealed that that Bill had had an affair with, allegedly, this is all alleged, with
Yeah,
this
it's all alleged, obviously.
alleged. We don't know for sure. But yeah, and so that was submitted, and I remember reading it and being like, and as much as I like Bill, okay, the vibe is there. It's not giving me his birthday on here. It's giving me his birth year, which
Well, that's
is
no
not
help.
helpful. I'm like, that's great that you were born in 1978, but I need a little more.
Unless we're looking for Chinese astrology, but
Yeah,
still.
like, I need a
And
little.
let me just answer this to Pepe. You can Google it. So there are many, many sites. So you can Google, find my ascendant or find my rising sign or my moon. And there's so many free sites out there that you can
Like,
use. And also there's a great
Astro Cafe. Astro Cafe is one that's like very like beginner friendly, and it's free, and it's very beginner friendly. Like it will break it down for you
app.
very easily. I think that's what it is. It's like
No, it's Cafe Astrology. Is that the one?
Astrology. Yeah.
Cafeastrology.com. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one is good for free, like very beginner level, like not using a lot of like deep.
And
'Cause
there are two apps that I like as well, guys. It's called Time Passages. This is for
I
advanced.
love that app.
I love the app, but it's more for advanced. But you can still just like add your like birthday and stuff like that, and it will tell you. It will just show you your chart, and just so you know where all your placements are. And then there is, which is a really cute app called the Pattern. Have you heard of that?
I have not.
This
Looking
is
that up
it.
now.
That's what it
Okay.
looks like. Oh, there. And it's called the Pattern. It's really cute because every day just tells you, depending on the placements of the planets, it just tells you what kind of day you're gonna have. It gives you motivational sort of little things and every day. So it's a really nice, cute app. But Time Passages is my favorite. That's the one I use, and cafeastrology.com as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
and
love
Jada says, and So Iconic says Astro Future app as well. Right, exactly.
that. That's a good app too. I use
Mhm.
the Moon app most of the time now, just because it's it's my go-to. I don't know. It's just my go. I toggle between, like, I'll like be addicted to one of them for like 6 or 7 months, and then I toggle between, just kind of wherever the wind blows me. But that's. I mean, it's upsetting for Bill, honestly, because you can see that Jennifer. I think Jennifer gets worried about repeating the mistakes that her mom made, like
Yeah.
with her dad, like staying with her dad for so long just because of Turkish, tradition and culture. And,
Mhm.
the man is allowed to kind of do, side things or, extracurriculars.
True.
Um, But I think, like, the judgment that she put upon her mom is kind of going to karmatically come back and question her, like, make her question herself with what to do with Bill, because we've seen the clips where she's crying and saying she doesn't know what she wants to do. And I think she really does feel like conflicted because on one hand, like he did her dirty. It's public. Like that's terrible. Like doing it privately as like a regular citizen sucks enough, but like to be in the public eye is like a whole, other bag of worms. But then she is fully supported by Bill. She doesn't want for anything, and she loves that.
I just feel that when cheating comes out in public, that is sort of like the beginning of the end, because once it's out,
It's
you
out.
have this pressure, this like pressure from society, pressure from your peers. Like, what are you going to do about it? Because it has to do with your self-esteem and how you see yourself. And once it's out there, everyone expects that you're going to leave your husband because he's disrespected you. And I feel that Jennifer doesn't really want to leave him. I feel that she does love him. She loves the family. And at the end of the day, as you said, it's their culture. Turkish culture is very much about family and big families and being
Right.
all together and spending so much time all together as a family. And everyone's in each other's business all the time. But I really don't want her to make a decision for the wrong reasons, meaning just because it's out now and people just want to see what she's going to do and she feels that pressure. I wouldn't want her to see her getting divorced or leaving Bill because it's out. She managed to cope with it for all this time, and I know it's difficult for her, and I know her ego also is hurting because it's humiliating.
Yeah.
But so I think that she can cope with it. She is an Aries after all. She can,
She can
she's
take
made of
it.
steel. Yeah, she can take it.
Yeah.
So that's my only worry, because I do, to be honest, intuitively, I am worried about them. Jackie and Evan going back to them for a bit. I'm not sure. I do feel that they're not going to be together forever. I do feel that they will part ways, but I just think that Jackie at the moment, because she's also struggling with her own eating disorder and her own stuff, she's on her own journey. She's not at that place yet. She doesn't want to deal with it. Do you know what I mean? Because she's got so much other stuff going on.
Yeah. She's very focused on like it's like tertiary to her because there's no concrete evidence. And I think the fact, she's like also an attorney. She goes
Yeah,
based on
absolutely.
facts a lot. And
Right.
since nobody has presented her with, a video of Evan cheating,
Mhm.
to choose to live in this like weird, naive bubble where she just focuses on herself. And you know what? Like
Yeah.
maybe that's what she's that. And sometimes people have to do that for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like different people that are in, I don't want to say stuck, but like that find themselves in certain situations, like because they do have young children,
Yeah.
3 or 4 young kids. That's a lot, to walk away, to just walk away from, because it is, divorce isn't easy. It sounds sometimes like the easiest solution, but it's a difficult process.
It
So
is. Hmm.
I think that that's where Jennifer struggles too, is she doesn't want to deal with all the stuff that comes along with it. And then also the criticism. And I think that she feels intuitive, like this is my intuitive take on, I think for some weird reason, she has something to prove to Margaret. And I don't know why.
Hmm.
I don't know why, but like with Margaret only, who's also in Aries, um, I I think with Margaret, that's who she feels the most shame in front of, because with everybody else, she's very kind of matter of fact with it. But with Margaret, it like touches a certain nerve. And I don't know if it's because Margaret and Joe got together through an affair. So maybe it's a trigger for her.
I don't know. I don't see that being a trigger, to be honest. Okay. I would say that it's because Margaret calls it as it. Margaret
I love
is
her.
the Lisa Renna of the New Jersey if she knows something, if she's got something on you, it's a matter of time. She's going to use it at the right time. And speaking of Lisa Rinna, here's her chart.
Oh,
Because I have Harry Hamlin's too.
and so what I love most about Rinna's chart, okay, because she is such a Cancer, and when I saw that her moon was in Pisces, I was like, that's that that makes like it's and I love Lisa Rinna. We've talked about it before. I know that people like, please don't drag me for it. I love her. I know she's problematic at times, but she really is just like a lot of fun to me, but
No, I love her for like I love her on TV. And you know what's interesting? I was reading, I think I came across like an old Reddit or something or a subreddit.
okay.
And there were people there who had met Lisa Rinna in the past. Like they worked at a coffee shop or they met her out and about. They all have really good things to say about her. They said that she was super nice, she was approachable. And I'm like, I see you, Lisa Rinna, because she's a Cancer. So it's a show. Like
Yep.
a lot of what we see is a show. And I don't like her sometimes on the show. Like I really dislike her. But then again, it is a show. Like I do genuinely think, and with Harry Hamlin, let's look at his chart because he's a Scorpio. Speaking of Scorpio.
I love that his Venus is in Virgo. My Venus is also in Virgo.
Mine's in Sagittarius.
Oh, my Mars is in Sagittarius.
I know. I'm
like, oh, sorry. I'm like, oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Oopsie.
Out of nowhere. I didn't mean for that. Like with Lisa Rinna, her whole vibe, like you said, it is a show. Okay. And I can attest, like I've had exchanges with Lisa Rinna in private DM, and she is very friendly, like very cut to the because somebody had posted something about her. This was, I don't know, like a month or so ago, and they were trying to they took a clip of Lisa Rinna doing an interview with the Huffington Post back from when she was on Celebrity Apprentice, which preceded Donald Trump's presidency, okay, before anybody really knew all the ick, right? And she was singing his praise. She was like, I love Donald Trump and this, that, and the other. And they were publishing the video, but like painting it as though it was a current interview. Margaret is an Aries,
Yes, another Aries.
Another Aries. The whole cast is basically, there's like at least one Aries placement in their big three for basically every single one of them.
It's crazy. And speaking of like Lisa Rinna, one other reason why I think there are two sides of Rinna. So people who know her like personally in real life and they like her, and us watching her not liking her or most of the time is because she's a typical Cancer. With Cancers, you never know what you're going to get. You never know how you're going to feel about Cancers. So you might like I have Cancer friends, like really close, a really good close friend. And sometimes I'm not in the mood to talk to her because I don't want that Cancer energy.
The emotional vampire of it all. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I think her Pisces moon balances, like gives her enough weird, like to do like the high leg kick, like, like weird Rinna, but still an ambiguous person. Like you said, like you don't really know what you're going to get. It could be fun Rinna. It could be drunk Rinna. It could be like double-sided, like playing both sides of the fence. And
exactly.
I love her for it. And I love looking at the placements. We'll have to talk once Beverly Hills comes back on because
we should do that. Definitely. We should take all franchises and talk. And I want to really quickly, the other ones that I've got here. Hold on. I've got Kyle and Mauricio. I know you love them.
Oh, he's a Cancer.
So Kyle is a Capricorn.
Yeah.
With a Venus in Pisces. Oop. And Mauricio is a Cancer, Moon in Pisces. Ooh, okay, that makes sense. And then what's the Venus? Leo.
That's where all his confidence, his swag and love. I love it.
Wow. I love this couple. I think they're a genuine couple. You know, they're like, there's
They
love there. They're,
time. Like, and that's what made me I always think about that episode with Allison or whatever, Allison Dubois,
oh
the
yeah, the
inner part. Yeah. Your husband will never emotionally fulfill you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, yes, he will. Yes, Mauricio is I love them together. I don't ever
I love them too. I
any
so love them together. I like him and I like her too. And because she has that Capricorn neurosis that
yeah,
Capricorns have, you
yeah.
know, because they get like this anxiety. They worry about everything under the sun. But I find it endearing in Kyle, you know? It's just
Two of my best friends are Capricorns and they're both like like us combined, it's just worrying. Like we just sit around and like worry together. Like you guys want to like overthink everything that we've ever done and like worry about it. Let's do it. You know, like but with Kyle, I think that Mauricio like helps keep her from being too much of a spaz. And Kim,
yeah.
yes, she is. I know. I love Kim Richards. I know that
I love
I love Kim Richards, and I'm not just saying that because you know who else is a Virgo? Camille.
Camille.
Camille is a Virgo.
Okay, I kind of see it.
There are so if you go back, and I've done this with a couple of the franchises recently. Like if you go back, Dorit and Erica, they're Cancers too.
They're cancers, both of them.
That whole cast is almost all Cancers. Garcelle,
That's why it's a mess. It's messy.
Garcelle is a Sagittarius, but other than that, it's like Capricorn, Kyle, and then Cancer, everybody else.
And then cancer everybody else. Exactly. What was and Brandy was
Scorpio.
a Scorpio. That's why she was
That's why
a
she's like
mess.
just all she'll say whatever I love Brandy too. That's an unpopular opinion. And I don't love Brandy for Brandy. I love Brandy because she is a she is a housewife. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Pisces, yeah, a Pisces. Well, I don't know. Yeah,
Nah, mm-mm, mm-mm.
like some Pisces I know, it's hard to get a conversation out of some of them.
They
Like,
would get bored of each other. They wouldn't have like a mutual like
yeah,
point of interest. I mean, Pisces,
there's a lot of I feel like there
yeah.
would just be a lot of misunderstandings, like emotional misunderstandings, because Capricorns are so dry and Pisces are so wet that it would just be like,
Yeah, a little bit like and Pisces like Capricorns would feel insecure around Pisces because the Pisces are all over the place. They live in their own bubble, and Capricorns just want everything sort of structured there, done, you know. And Capricorns don't have much of a sense of humor sometimes.
Eileen, oh my gosh, Rafilla, Eileen is one of my all-time
I loved her.
favorite housewives. She is such a class act. She's so sweet. She's so friendly. Anytime I've like and I've only interacted with her like 2 times, I think. But she was just really, really friendly. She was like, "Thank you so much," and I was like, "Thank you so much. Like, you're so
What's
sweet."
your star sign though? What's Eileen?
Um,
LVB, someone's talking. LVB's a Virgo.
yeah, yeah. Um, Eileen
Oh yeah. So Michael
Eileen
believes that.
is
Yeah, with a Virgo.
oh, Eileen's a Gemini.
What? I
Yeah,
I found her more grounding.
yeah.
Like, she didn't give me that Gemini air, you know, element or vibe. I would get more of a
Like a Taurus almost, maybe.
almost like a Taurus. Yeah, almost like a Taurus.
She was very like no BS. Like like this is the yeah, I wasn't getting Gemini at all. Huh,
No, because she's very tactful as well. And Geminis are not tactful.
no. Well, it's like I call it so with my son being a Sagittarius sun and then a Gemini rising, I call him Dory. I'm like, you're like Dory from like Finding Nemo. You know,
Like, not everything's hunky dory. Like,
right,
me.
not like from no, that's the
That's
podcast.
what I call myself. That's what Kemp and I call myself, Dory. Because sometimes I forget, like I forget
All
stuff.
over the place.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's what I do, and my son sometimes takes it as, like, he'll be a little defensive about it, and I'm like, "But you have to think of it this way," I'm like, "Dory is ultimately the hero of the movie." Really, if you think about it, figures out everything. It might take, like, a little takes
It's
a little
true.
bit, little scatterbrain, but ultimately, we love Dory, but no, Eileen, I love Eileen. I love who's another Virgo? Giselle Bryant.
Oh yeah, she's
Her.
such a typical Virgo though. Giselle screams Virgo.
She does.
Screams.
Well,
Except for the stylistic.
I was gonna say, I was like, her style is oh, like that purple wall in her house. I'm like, girl, you did the whole home renovation and like you kept the purple wall. Why? Like,
I
hate
know.
that. And I love a bold wall. Give me an accent wall all day, but that fuchsia wall is not it. And like all of her mirrored like decor. I can't. It's bad, but it's so classic Giselle. And there's
Hold
like
on. Joey says Eileen is rising as Cancer, which starts making a little bit more sense now.
okay, okay. Yeah, I guess because I was like Gemini for me was like not
Do we have who is Gemini? Hold on. From the Housewives now, from the franchises that are airing now, who is a Gemini? No.
Ashley Darby. Ashley Darby is a Gemini.
Good point. Very good point.
And she is one of my favorites too. I know
I
that's
like her now. Yeah, I've grown to love her now.
yeah, you have to it's and don't get me wrong, there are moments where I'm like, "Oh, Ashley." I'm like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You're
I
so
know.
messy." But
We
ultimately,
love Messi. We love Messi. I'll take Messi.
I think don't quote me on this because
Hold
her
on.
birthday is incorrect. I know at least one place, Heather Gay. I think Heather Gay might be a Gemini.
Oh, hold on. I talked about Heather Gay last week, and I don't remember her
Okay,
star sign now. That's why I'm a Dory. That's why I'm a Dory. 'Cause I don't
well, because I've found different birthdays for her when I've looked her up before. There's somebody else that's
We don't have listen, we don't have many Aquarians, we don't have many Geminis. Generally, air signs are missing
do you
from
know who is an Aquarius? Like who shocked me
Libra.
when I originally found out was an Aquarius? I was like, oh my gosh. And then it made sense after I thought about it. Kenya.
Kenya too. Exactly. I
I
know. I was
found
shocked too when
out.
I found out.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. And then I started paying attention to her weird, like quirkyisms, and I was like, oh, I got it now. But she
Makes
definitely
sense.
inspired. Like, I bet you if we pulled up the rest of her chart, it would be
We've
the
got Joey here. You don't have to use your phone. Joey's just on it
oh, thank
every
you,
time.
Heather.
Heather is a
Oh,
Cancer.
Heather's a Cancer. Okay, well, I can see that too.
I can see that too. I can so see that too, but she has a
What are
lot
your
of
thoughts on Heather Gay?
I love Heather Gay when I don't like her in the reunions. I like her on the show. So basically, I just like her energy.
Yeah.
I think she is the grounding force of the cast. Like they need her because she
She's
kind of
the
like
Kyle.
balances things out. But she something like switches during those reunions and she becomes like I can't
A
stand her in
different
the reunions.
she does become a different person. Okay, I didn't watch Dallas. I watched 2 episodes ever of Dallas, but it's saying Stephanie Holman is a Gemini and Leanne Locken, both of Dallas, are both Geminis.
Okay.
So, and like we all saw what happened to that franchise.
I
So
was
no,
gonna say, ooh la la. Ooh la la. Dorinda and Bethany. Bethany's a Leo.
Dorinda's a
Luann is a
Sagittarius.
Luann's a Taurus, right?
Yes, Luann is a Taurus and Dorinda's a Sagittarius, and Bethany is a classic Scorpio.
Oh, she's this. Why did I say Leo?
Oh,
I
yeah. I think
no,
she,
you're right. She is a Scorpio, but I think she's got a Leo moon.
yeah, I was gonna say, I know she has Leo in her chart somewhere. I remember somebody posted it one time. I think the High Priestess of Brooklyn, who, if you're not following her, definitely follow her. She's good for like breaking down charting for people like us who are like
Oh,
Please
nice.
stop talking like so technically because I can't understand it. I'm like, it's so overwhelming. Like learning everybody's placements and then watching how they behave in the show um makes makes it more interesting to watch, I feel like, because you can almost start to
I
then
agree.
use your own intuition to predict kind of like how this fight is going to go. Like, oh, I bet you this person and this person.
That's
Like,
why I love talking about that's why I love talking about astrology and housewives because it's so interesting because when you break it down,
mm,
you can actually almost understand the psychology and the reactions behind
yep,
certain things that they do. And it's fascinating and it's fun. I
it's
mean,
super fun. Like, I remember the very first episode of this season of New Jersey
oh,
with
makes sense. Sorry, Joey says that her rising is Capricorn. Makes
ah,
sense. Money, money,
such
money.
a hustler. I was gonna say she is a hustling. I love I know that's another hot take. I'm full of hot takes, everybody. I love housewives that most people are like, "What?" I'm like, "Listen, if you deliver housewife material, I love you." Like, I didn't say you're a good person. I just said I love you as a housewife. Sonia Morgan. Sonia's a Sag,
Sagittarius.
Scorpio. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but no, like when I first saw the new season of Jersey, I immediately called it. I was like, Tracy and Teresa are
No,
going to butt
no.
heads. And like you start to see it happening now because Tiki got involved with the conversation with Louis about the weird video and all that stuff. And Teresa's like, why is Tracy asking around? And it's like, I knew this was going to happen because I don't think Tracy cares about any of it all because
But
like
I like that she's so open and she's sort of trying to be neutral. I know she's a new girl, but I mean, I don't know. I so far I like her because everyone is so like hyper and so like she's calmer and I like that. Well,
she
and
she is the one thing that I don't like about her just because I am somebody who has been a victim of infidelity is when she had her first confessional, and I don't
oh,
know.
I know
Oh,
what you
Heather
mean.
Dubrow. No, Heather Dubrow is a Capricorn.
Oh, I've got her chart here. Yeah, she's got her. Hold
um,
on, I'll bring it up while you're talking really quickly.
yeah,
There, she's a Capricorn with a Leo moon. She's got Mars in Scorpio, and Venus in Pisces.
yeah.
And this is Terry's. Hold on.
Oh,
He's got a lot of Virgo, a lot of earth signs. Look at that.
wow.
Moon in Libra. Oh, Terry. Terry, are you a naughty boy? Mhm.
Well, I get that vibe from him too.
So do I.
Yeah, I always have. I'm like, especially on those episodes of Botched. I'm like, you're getting a little personal,
I
but
know, right? You're like,
okay.
yeah, he's got that creeper vibe a little bit.
A
I don't know.
little a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
Mm.
But no, it's just, like, interesting watching it play out, and with Tracy, in her first confessional, I think it was her first one, she was talking about, "The public has this misconception of me that Tiki left his wife when she was 8 months pregnant. She was only 8 weeks pregnant," and I'm like, "Okay, but it doesn't make it any better. Like, 8 weeks, 8 months, you knew you were messing around with a married man who already had a family, whose wife was pregnant, and you did what you did, so stop trying to justify it, just own
Agree.
your behavior." And that's, like, big with me and, like, housewives, and I think that's why I like Lisa Rinna because Lisa will be a full-blown mess, and she'll just own it, and yeah, is she gonna make the same mistake? Sure. Like, duh, she's gonna be a mess again later and apologize and keep doing it. I didn't say she was, infallible, but it's she owns it, and same with Giselle,
True.
same with all the
True.
if you're a mess and you own it, then I have a little more, like, respect and leniency
Mm.
for you to behave, like, messily because honestly, like, that's what we're here for. Like, we're not here to watch civilized women have, like, etiquette class. You
That's
know,
so true.
we're here for trash and mess and, like, drama and fun, and analyzing all of it this way makes it even more fun. But, don't take the like, I hate when people, like, try to take the fun out of it, like,
I
if
agree.
you know, now and like, yeah, of course, like let's have serious conversations. Like infidelity is serious, or like when Taylor Armstrong and her, you know,
Hmm.
husband at the time had their, you know, domestic violence. Like those were real moments that we got to see. Sure, let's see those, but like Bravo is kind like has been like dark for a little bit, but we've also been living in like a really dark world, so it was kind of to be expected. But I think we're kind of coming, you know, coming out of that. It
And I
seems.
think we're transitioning as well as viewers, we're
Yeah,
just we've also become more sophisticated as viewers, and we've evolved, right, throughout those 10, 12 years that we started watching Housewives, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's why now there is a lot of this sort of discord between people, where people are either loving Housewives or they're just dropping out. They're like, I'm done. This is too much. This is too fake. This is too staged. Or this is, this is the same old, same old. I get it. That's why I feel that they should change a little bit the format. And I don't mean like they did with the girls' trips, where
right.
I love the girls' trip, and I can't wait for the one in Bluestone Manor. I love me Dorinda. Bring me
I,
Dorinda any day, Dorinda.
I know.
But I do think that they should mix it up. Things have changed now in the world. Things change really fast. I think they should bring gay couples. They should bring like trans people. Like, diversity shouldn't just be between like just bringing black or Asian. Diversity is a lot broader. And
Right,
I would love to see other couples and other people come in,
right.
and that would be without the fake drama, because when you bring diversity in, you don't need to overproduce, you don't need to stage things, because
Nature
things
will
will
stage
happen
it.
organically.
Yeah,
And that's what we want, this organic reality TV where we have interesting character, interesting person, and personalities that we look I'm talking personally, this is totally subjective, right? But I would like to see people that I actually do look up to, in a sense. Do people do want to
yes.
use as a role model, because that's why we watch TV. It's escapism.
It
But now people want to they want to interact with that escapism. They want to be involved in it. And this is what's missing. Sorry, I'm done with my little vent there.
no,
But
it's totally
that's
valid, and I agree with it. It's meant to be a form of just full on like shutting off and enjoying something silly. You know, we all have our guilty pleasures, if that's what you want to call it, even though I don't think there's anything to be guilty feeling about for watching Housewives. But I think that you're right. I think that the viewers are, you know, there's like a line in the sand kind of right now. And it's starting to fade a little bit and become less of a harsh line and more of a blurred line, thankfully. Um, but I agree. I think that with Miami, you know, and I'm not caught up on the newest Miami yet, but I know that there is a lesbian couple on Miami. So, you know, it's good that there's more inclusion. Yeah, see,
I
Rafilla's,
agree.
yeah, so I'm catching up. I'm rewatching the old seasons of Miami
Mm.
so I can be, you know, totally on board when I begin the season 4 that just came out.
Noelle is a Gemini, by the way. That explains a lot. Like, she's like,
How do you feel about her?
can't you tell from my face? I
I
can't. I'm so sorry. I
I
can't stand her.
can't. Like I really and I normally don't say this.
Me neither. I'm not that, I always see the good in people, but with Noella, I'm done. I'm over it. I don't.
There was too much studying done. Like she's trying too
Agree.
hard. It's very I can't I get tired watching her. I'm like and she has her moments where you know, I'll enjoy her for a few minutes. But then she goes right back to being like so cringeworthy where you're just like I watch her a lot like this. Like, oh well,
Exactly. She said she's a true Gemini. That just tells you a lot about Noella.
if somebody comes to you and says, I am the most Gemini ever, I'm not saying write them off entirely, but definitely be observant of the behavior. Be like, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by
She's
your like such a
she's
yeah, she's a lot. She's a
she's
lot.
she's a lot, and the thing is, she is trying to find herself and find herself and find her personality type on TV, literally on TV. Don't do that while you're on TV. You're supposed to go on TV once you figure it out yourself, because
Right.
it's a mess. It's a hot mess. And us, we're all tired. The public, the viewers, we're all tired. We just want something that, like, honestly, you know what? We used to, I feel that we used to watch reality TV and used to watch these baddies and these cat fights and Teresa like table flipping and Lisa Rinna and Kim, those fights and all that. We
Yeah.
used to enjoy those because we were like, yes, this is
It was the
fascinating.
best.
Now I think we're all so tired and so exhausted, and anyway, like the collective is ascending anyway spiritually. So now we're more about um yeah, spiritual stuff, but also we like to go a little bit deeper into
Yeah.
things, even with reality TV.
Yeah.
Even with reality TV, I don't know, this is my opinion, but that's how
So
I feel
I
it.
I think that you're 100% right that people like I know the collective and everybody it's like light and dark kind of like battling, but like light obviously usually cancels out dark as long as it stays light. So
Exactly.
I think things are becoming lighter again as, certain things get moved
Mhm.
out of the way. But with
Noella's rising is Cancer.
oh gosh,
I love how you're like, oh,
oh like I
oh,
can't and honestly, I am still I think I'm 3 episodes behind now on Orange County. It's because I have to I can't dedicate every week because if it's, like, Wednesday and I'm just, in a mood or I
I
don't
agree.
on Orange County, I'm like, I can't do it, and I miss Tamra. Here's another hot take. She's a Virgo also. Um,
I
I
don't ever miss her.
I miss you don't miss her?
Mm-mm.
She's so Tamara can be problematic, but what Tamara brings
She brings it, but I can't with the shrilly voice and the whole Vicky and the tres amigas. Like, ugh,
How do you
enough.
feel about Shannon Fedor?
Okay, I used to like her on the show, to be honest. I mean, I found her entertaining. There was just something about Shannon this season. No, she's so
I
insecure. She's on her own. I
I
don't.
think that it's kind of, unfair almost because it almost feels like they're trying to cancel her out, and I think it's Heather
Yes.
Dubrow. I think Heather Dubrow really is, like, the Cruella de Vil of the cast, like, because that's what Jeff Lewis called her on Watch What Happens Live, and I was
I
like,
can't
"That
stand her.
he's so right," and, like, say what you want about Jeff Lewis because I also love him.
We
Another
do love Jeff Lewis.
I love him, I cannot help it. But no, I really think that they're trying to get Shannon
Agree. Agree.
fired from the show and that they're ganging up against her to make her boring as possible this, season.
Agree.
But I don't think she will get fired. I think Dr. Jen is definitely going to not be returning. It seems as though she has legal problems on the horizon, that may prevent her from returning. Um, I just saw somebody I thought it said her moon is in Gemini too. Oh,
Hold on. Where is it? I believe her sun is Cancer and her moon is Gemini.
ooh,
With moon in Gemini indicates that she's gonna get married again. That's what my
probably in like 2 months. I'm like, if her sun is Cancer and her moon is Gemini, she'll be married by the 4th of July.
That's so
Like,
true.
she'll be married by the 4th of July. That's it. She's
That is so true. But don't be surprised if she gets married again, Shannon.
Oh,
That's for
no,
sure.
I totally see. Yeah, and
I don't know if it's gonna be that John guy, but I mean, I don't feel it. I don't feel it
I
with
don't.
them. So
I
I hope she finds the right guy.
I do too. I hope Shannon returns. I've always been a Shannon fan, like since day one. I know that she has her moments of like, oh my gosh, but like Vicky's also an Aries.
It's crazy. How many Aries? It's
So
crazy.
many Aries. It's so hard to pick like a favorite one because I really feel like Aries and Cancer are the two dominant
Yeah,
signs,
yeah,
like almost every franchise. Um,
absolutely.
but yeah, I mean, for Shannon, I hope that she returns. I hope that she finds love. This John guy seems really sweet, but like they haven't done anything.
Who's
Yeah, Heather's mom.
I don't remember Heather's mom. Is she?
I have not seen the full episode yet. I've seen some clips that obviously people were making memes of online. And it seems like Heather's mom explains a lot of why Heather is the way that Heather is. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, this."
Oh, I remember now. Yes, I remember because she was on the show, wasn't she?
Yeah,
She was in the last episode. I remember it. I was just thinking, oh my God, now it makes sense. Yes.
yeah. I haven't seen, like I said, I'm still a little behind because Noella is exhausting, and Salt Lake City was like the most exhausting season ever in life. It's been on. It was on since September. I've never felt like I've watched a Housewives franchise for longer than I did with Salt Lake, and then nothing even
You're
came
right.
of it. The reunion was terrible.
Terrible. And by the way, what's with this reunion fashion? I haven't this
Like,
year. It's a disaster zone, and I'm sorry. I know it sounds shallow, but I mean, we want to watch. I mean, we want to see them all glammed up and
I
looking
want
great.
a show. I want a reunion. Like I want to
Yeah,
be blown away. And then the Salt Lake people had like it looked like a janky version of a Frozen carnival ride. Like it was so terrible. Everybody's outfit, like it got worse and worse with each look. I was like, I don't even know what's happening here. Like when people are like, "Who's your favorite? Like who's your best dress?" I was like, I don't have one. Like they all look terrible. Like
Andy was my favorite.
yeah, Andy. I was like, that snow mountain over there is doing a better. It's serving more than this like because I like you said, I expect glamour and like some
Uh,
sort of like opulence and extravagance, not like dress barn because it was very like pedestrian, civilian, you know.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. You're like,
Did you see Orange County?
I did.
Tragic.
I
Like
mean, I'm telling you, it's getting bad to worse, and I'm like, ugh. You
I,
might as well go in with jeans.
but we do have it's a little over a month out that we're getting Beverly Hills and Atlanta back. So
That's gonna be
ideally,
interesting.
I'm I'm hesitant with Atlanta just because we're missing Portia, missing Cynthia. You know, it, it makes me sad that they're gone, but like
Mm,
still there and Tanya is still there. So as long as those two stay for me, I'll still watch.
mm.
But I am scared. I'm like, is it gonna be as good without Portia and Kenya like always
That dynamic there, yeah,
dynamic
yeah.
is so good. But I've always loved Candy. She's always been one of my favorites. And then with Beverly Hills, I mean, it's the best. Like Potomac and Beverly Hills are tied for me
Are
for
they?
are being
Okay.
they're my they're I can't pick one. I guess if I had to, I would probably go with Beverly Hills. Um, but Potomac has never disappointed me. They are always delivering, and Giorgio and like Giorgio lives in that area. I used
Mm.
to live in that. I grew up in that area, so it's familiar to me.
To just
Because that's how people that like the way that they argue in Potomac is very different from how they argue
true,
in other
true.
franchises. And so it's familiar to me and I love watching it and I just love the dynamic. Like I never want Giselle or Karen to not be on the show.
I agree 100.
And I never want them to be fully friends either.
I love them. I just
Want them
can't.
to be friends and then fight and then make up and be friends and then fight.
Like sisters who hate each other, and I love it.
And I think that they have some sort of like there is some sort of connection there, like a
Yeah,
magnetic connection because they
right.
do genuinely care for each other. It's
It's like
evident.
Mars and Teresa.
Yes, there
They've got
is.
that same dynamic somewhat.
Right. They'll stab you in the back, but then, like, later they're like, "Okay, but I do love you." And it's reciprocal, they both
I
feel
know.
the
Yeah.
same energy. So it's always fun watching them fight, and then obviously Giselle and Robin, their dynamic is it's hilarious.
But I'm over Robin. I can't. Like I just there's nothing about Robin that interests me at the moment. She has no storyline. I don't want to hear about her wedding, which is never going to happen to Juan. I just don't. Like enough already. Enough with the embezzlement, sorry, the embellished I'm done.
Do you wanna know the very first time and I didn't even mean to say embezzlement, but when I was talking about it one time, first time I was like, "Her hat line, embezzlement."
Yeah.
And my friend was like, "Embellished." I was like, "Oh." I was like, "That's what I meant." And she was like, "I like what you said better." And she was like, "'Cause that's what Karen said." I was like
I keep calling it embezzlement. Like I can't like
I mean, I
embezzlement.com.
I feel bad for Robin because I love her. I think this is my prediction. I think that she's going to have a really good edit this season. I don't know if it'll be like and I'm not saying it'll be manufactured, but I think that she will have more of a storyline because I think there is more going on behind the scenes that like maybe we don't know about. I don't know if you listen to their podcast ever, but
No.
and I hate saying this. Yes, I agree with you. Like her relationship with Juan is such a smoke screen. Like
Yeah, I know. It's like find something else. And if you
it's like
don't have anything, just
like,
I don't
she's
know.
beautiful, she's successful, she's funny as I think she's hilarious, like, I'm never not amused by Robin Dixon. But she lives in a state of denial too, I
She
think.
does. And at the end of the day, like I'll give you a storyline, Robin. Cheat on one. I mean, don't cheat on one because are you even together? I don't think so. So why don't you just show us a boyfriend, bring someone in, make it
Right,
interesting?
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just, I don't know. I'm just saying because that would also give a little bit of fuel for Giselle as well and the Grand Dame.
Well, and
We just
I
need
always
something.
think I'm like, we how good of a time would we have watching Robin and Giselle be single together?
Oh wow, I agree.
Like, the dynamic, hello?
That would
Like,
be interesting. Now that's a storyline. There you
that's
go.
the storyline, like, because it's
Top
not a
one.
real thing, and I think that it is kind of coming to that behind the scenes, Like, I just feel that way just based on social media observations, based on all that, sort of thing, so it'll be interesting to see, and Karen has her own spinoff. Everybody has a spinoff, and they're all like, the Candy one, if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's
Really?
yeah, I
I
enjoyed
think
it.
they're a little bit oversaturated with all these spin-offs, to be honest, with all these
Oh my
shows.
gosh, I can't keep up. That's why I'm always behind. Like, people are like, "What are you up to date on?" I'm like, "Nothing, including my own life." Like, I'm behind on everything.
I I am you know what I'm binging now? And I'm gonna say this, and then we'll just wrap it up
Yeah.
slowly because we're already like 2 hours, and I know you're
Wow,
busy, you've got kids as well.
that's
But, I'm into this, like, I'm binging now all these, like, true crime well, not even true crime, like, those like, Tinder Swindler, Bad Vegan. If you haven't watched Bad Vegan,
I
guys,
haven't yet.
you should watch it. That was such
Okay,
a pleasant surprise.
okay.
So good. So good. Bad and what was the other one? The Elizabeth Holmes story,
Oh, I
Theranos.
watched that.
I'm
She
so into all that now.
I'm so obsessed with watching all of those, I guess, true crime is what you would classify, like the Anna Delvey stories.
Anna Delvey. I can't do her voice, but I mean, I love the
They're
accent.
so basic. Like, I'm like, I don't even
Oh,
know what that accent is. Like, it was so bad, but the story is so good. I follow her social media, which if you're not following it, you should.
I should. I will.
You need to because
I will.
Neff runs her social media and posts like
Oh,
yeah, a couple weeks ago, it was like 2 weeks ago, she had posted the real story about Rachel. She was like, just so everybody knows, Rachel actually tried to do a book with Anna about their experiences together, and Anna told her no. Oh, thank you, Mocha. Um,
thank
uh,
you, Maud. You're doing a great job today. Thank you, Mods. Thank you.
but yeah, so oh, I totally lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Sorry, it's me interrupting.
No, it's okay. I've been up for like, and it's like
You've been up since
hours.
really early, right? It's 11 o'clock at night here as well. I
Oh
was
my
surprised
gosh,
that I'm
so
actually.
late. It's so late. But yeah, I can't total tangent that we were just on. But
We're talking about Neff.
oh yeah, okay.
Hosting.
So Rachel wanted to do a book with Anna. Anna
Mm,
said no because Rachel's basic. That's when Anna did her own book deal and then tried to like slander
yeah.
Anna in the process. And Anna was like, "You wanted to do a book with me," and Anna Delvey actually just did an interview on Call Her Daddy with if you listen to her. I mean, she's good, but I don't know what kind of like magic karma she has on her side, but she's landing like every major pop culture guest right now. So kudos to her for doing it.
Wow.
Actually
Well,
good at interviewing. It's just like sometimes it's repetitive. Certain guests, like I'm just, eh, eh. But she had on Julia Fox, the chick
hmm.
who did Kanye
Yeah.
West.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So that
Well,
was
the magic of Netflix, I guess. So all you need nowadays is just get a Netflix deal and you got it.
yeah,
You have it,
exactly. Get on
right?
anything. So, but thank you so much for having me. We'll have to do this again, like
We
especially
will do this again because I think that everyone in the chat as well really enjoyed this.
and we need to and we'll get our cards out the next time too. Because I got mine out just in case today, but I was
Yeah.
like,
I didn't know you did tarot or you read tarot.
I do. So right now I am obsessed. This is I just got this deck. Where's the box for it? I got this deck. Um
Oh, the psychic tarot. Yeah. I
so,
don't have it, but I know of it. Yeah.
John Holland decks, his oracle decks are really good.
Mhm.
I just picked this one up. I have another one of his that I really like, and then I have the Thomas Waite, like the regular traditional tarot. But yeah, I dabble in that, so we can do that.
We can do that. We can do a tandem tarot next time.
Love that.
And that would be this is excellent.
Love that.
Love it. Oh, you just did the Lisa Barlow, like love it.
Love
Love
that.
that.
Okay,
Love
so
that.
don't hate me, but one of my newest puppy, her name is Butters, Baby Gorgeous Barlow.
Oh,
I wasn't into the Baby Gorgeous.
be gorgeous.
Yeah, they're like, we're not acknowledging that. I was like, that's fine. You don't have to. I'm like, I'll just live in my weird Bravo land. That's fine. It's okay. So, but yeah, thank you again so much for having me on. This was like
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. And we will do this again for sure. Everyone, go ahead and follow Shannon. Where can everyone find you?
So I'm on Instagram right now at everything's hunky dory _. I have a TikTok. I'm still like terrified of it, but eventually I will do it. And it's just at everything's hunky dory without the underscore. And then my podcast, Everything's Hunky Dory, is available wherever you stream podcasts. So check me out. I'm on a little hiatus right now, but I have 4 episodes waiting. Like they're in my chamber. I just have to push them. I just have to birth them basically. So
You'll be back soon because now a lot more people are going to start following and you will feel the pressure. You're like, oh my God, I've got new followers.
I know.
I've got to produce something.
I know, it's so real. It's so, especially as a Virgo, I'm like over here criticizing myself to death. So like I promise soon. But thank you.
I feel you, Shannon, with the whole TikTok thing because I've got a crystal shop as well. I've got an online crystal shop. So I just opened it a month ago, and I know that if I start doing some TikToks, it's gonna really help my shop. But I'm such a Virgo in a sense, like I need to find the original idea, the perfect thing, do. So I'm using my Femme Tarot TikTok right now to experiment. That's why it sucks because I'm just like
That's a
putting
great
out there
idea.
whatever.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm just using it. So if anyone's following me, sorry if they're random, but I'm just trying to figure things out.
Like, I'm doing my best. You're like, I am in my 30s and I'm trying.
I am trying, and I don't want to do what every other psychic medium out there is doing, for
Right,
instance,
you wanna
you
set yourself
know?
apart, and it's so hard because the market is saturated and you've gotta find your niche, so but I'm sure, as Kris Jenner would say, "You're doing amazing, sweetie." Good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Love it. Thank you. Love it.
Love that.
Let me just answer this really quickly. Have you got braces in your shop yet? I am getting them tomorrow, guys. I'm getting
Go
beautiful
get some
braces.
bracelets, crystal bracelets.
Bracelets, crystal bracelets. I'm bringing in carts, crystal carved
I'm
hearts.
excited.
I'm getting elephants, dragons. So, guys, this week, keep your eyes peeled because I will be listing them on my shop and on Instagram. So, yeah, I'm bringing a lot of really nice bracelets.
Oh my
Then,
God.
thank you for asking.
Yes, I love that, and thank you to everybody who was so nice in the comments because, like, going live that's one of the scary things. We're like, "Please don't be mean to us."
Oh no, this is the most really honestly, it's the most soulful and loving community. I'm not just saying it because they're part of the family, but they are truly, it's very giving and loving community, and I want to keep it that way.
Exactly. Well, thank you again for having me, and thank you for everybody who showed up.
Thank you, everyone. Let me just remind everyone before you go, hit the like button and please subscribe if you're new here, and go ahead and follow Shannon too. And we'll be seeing you next week. And let me remind you, everyone, I'll be back next Sunday live. I've got another guest. He is a tarot reader. He is an actor / tarot reader that he started doing tarot, and he's really into it. He's writing a book too. So we'll be talking everything tarot next week with him here, same time, same channel.
Love that. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Bye. Bye.